Hey Katie, how's it going?
Good. Happy to be here.
Yeah?
Yeah.
All right. Well, you're number two on this podcast of faith, family, and flag.
Awesome.
So we'll see how it goes. But so I don't know if you have anything specific you want to talk about, but what I'd really like to know is just get to know you and let people get to know you a little better. So why don't we start with how you grew up?
Okay. Yeah. I have 5 siblings, and there are 3 brothers and me and my sister.
Okay.
And grew up in Fairview. Awesome town. And I also have very traditional parents, so I mean that's kind of interesting how I turned out, right? But my parents are completely traditional. So my dad would make it home for dinner at 5 every night. My mom would have dinner on the table. So yeah, my mom was pretty much the perfect and still is the perfect mom. Same with my dad. So I had a very great childhood. A lot of support. I did drill team in high school.
Oh, nice. Okay. I think I remember that.
Yeah, and
I don't know.
my parents hated it. Let's be honest. Like, that was not their thing. They were into sports, both of them. My mom played softball in college, all the sports, but that was her sport. And then my dad played football and did wrestling, and he was an athlete also. So it's like, when I did dance, they were just like, whatever. But they showed up, and they came, and they watched me, and they didn't love it, but they were there. And so my childhood could not have been better. And
well,
then
the good thing about drill team is like a drill team performance is like 20 minutes, right?
well, okay, that's yes, if you go to the games, but if you go to like a competition, it's literally all day long.
Oh, dang.
Yeah,
so it's just like any other sport then when you go to a tournament.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, so they were good sports.
Gotcha.
It's fine.
Gotcha.
I also grew up moving pipe, so farming, I guess, is what you'd call it.
Right.
I learned hard work. If I didn't move the pipe, then the field would die. So I learned responsibility very early on.
When did you start moving pipe? Like, how old were you?
I don't remember that. I want to
Like old enough to drive?
No.
Okay,
We
so
were
way
little.
before 16.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. That was my first job ever, was moving pipe for, I think it was Uncle Eddie that we moved for, and Uncle Corey we did help with too, but yeah, we would ride the 4-wheelers, which I didn't have a 4-wheeler, but Uncle Eddie had some, so we would ride them up to the fields and move them, and you had to do it early in the morning and then late at night, so if you wanted to have a life, sorry, that's not happening.
It's funny because my kids move pipe now.
Yeah, okay.
You know, like
Yep.
Chloe and Mac, they both move pipe, and it's like the exact opposite of moving pipe when I was young. Like
What?
they don't have a set time in the morning. It just has to be like before 10
Oh,
that
God.
they're up and they're out moving pipe. And then at night it's like, well, we're gonna go do this, and so they go do whatever they want to do, and then somebody else moves the pipe for the night.
Funny.
I'm like, this is not teaching
That
you
is
anything
not,
about
no
moving pipe.
way. I had to be 7 a.m. or whatever, and then 6
Right?
p.m. Yeah.
Yeah.
But anyway, so I've definitely learned hard work from that and responsibility. Let's see, what else can I tell you about my childhood?
What was the best part about moving pipe for you?
Oh,
Or was any of it?
I actually didn't hate it.
I find it pretty fun most of
Yeah.
the time. Like, that's the frustrating thing is, like, now when people are like, well, we need to go move pipe, I'm like, I'm an adult, and so I probably don't need to move pipe. There's plenty of kids that need to have a job and stuff,
Yep.
but I mean, when I was growing up, I moved pipe with a guy in Spring City that I worked for, and it was like some of the best times of working,
Yeah.
you know?
Yep.
We'd go out to the field, and we'd sit in the field and talk for
Yes.
way too long,
Yep.
you know, and
Yep.
then start moving pipe, and we'd be joking around and laughing, and you know, like it was way funner than what I typically did for him was computer work. And so I'd usually just be sitting in an office or in his garage, actually, is where we started, and just doing, you know, work on a keyboard or fixing computers and stuff. And so it shifted from no one really being around for that to I got to spend time with somebody, and we got to have real conversations.
Yeah. Yeah.
So the pipe moving was
Good break
way
for you.
better.
Yeah. I remember trying to balance the pipes. I mean, we were pretty little kids, but you had to get right in the middle, hook the bird head or whatever you call with your arm, and then balance it, which I loved that challenge. I don't know why, but that I loved. And then you'd shove it in the bottom of the pipe, right? Yeah. And then you had to make sure it was lined up correctly. Yep. Yeah, that part. Anyway, I thought it was great. And my sister would move with me, and we made a pretty good team, but she was allergic to the hay. So sometimes when they had cut, her eyes would puff up, and I had to hold her hand so she wouldn't itch her eyes. Like, all kinds of great memories, but yeah. Things have changed now. It's not quite the same.
Yeah, the other thing I've noticed is my kids are like, we have to move 4 wheel lines, and I'm like,
oh my gosh, wheel lines?
They move 1 hand line, and that's it. I'm like, well, I guess the farmers are richer now than they were when I was young, because no one had. I only moved 1 wheel line my entire life.
Yeah,
it was all hand lines.
I also remembered playing in the barns.
Oh yeah, like
so
down
Uncle Corey's.
Anderson Lane. Yeah.
I think it was Amber, we would go down to the barn and pretend like we were mountain lions and climb through the rafters and up on the hay. Completely dangerous, right? Like, I don't even... We're alive, it's fine. And then my mom would just expect us to be home at dark. I mean, or when we got hungry, we'd go home. Yeah. So I was pretty much free range, and it was great. We could use our imaginations all day long. Yeah. So, yeah.
That's definitely one of the things that Shar talks a lot about in her growing up here. She's like, I feel like I could do anything I wanted. Mm-hmm. You know, go wherever I wanted to go and just hang out and have fun. And I think that's, like, we give our kids, or we try to give our kids that same freedom, but they have a harder time figuring out what to do. You know, they don't let the boredom get to them.
Yep.
You know.
Boredom's good for kids.
Yeah.
I say that often. Turn off the TV, and then they'll say, I'm bored. And I always say, it's good for you. Figure out something to do.
Yeah.
And eventually they do, but it takes a minute.
Right. It's interesting, too, because I've listened to a lot of people like Joe Rogan and people that have talked about where they get inspiration for writing a book or for jokes or for whatever, like inspiration to do whatever it is that they do. Mm-hmm. And often they'll say that it's when they're doing nothing. You know, like that's when their mind is able to wander and create the connections to be really creative with their art and stuff. So
that's funny you bring that up. When I drive in the car, I don't listen to anything. It's dead silent because I listen to my thoughts. Oh, yeah. Because that is my time to, I guess, create and think things through, or, you know. Yeah.
That's a fantastic time. I mean, when I worked at the coal mine, it was like I spent a lot of time in equipment, you know, and you had headphone or earplugs in. Mm-hmm. So you couldn't talk to anybody. Yeah. Plus, you're in the middle of a giant machine that no one can really get to anyway, and you're like 10 hours a day just sitting there with your thoughts, and that's it. And so, like, it was so easy to tackle problems when you have that kind of time to just sit and think, you know. But, and I think too many people, I mean, I never sit in silence in the car unless I'm like frustrated. Yeah. You know. Yeah. But I feel like a lot of the time music is what opens my mind.
Okay, I could see that. Well, I mean, it inspires you depending on what you're listening to.
Yeah. Okay. So, I don't know. So you went to high school at North St. Pete?
Yes, I did.
And that's where you did drill team?
Uh-huh. Yep. High school was a very good experience for me. I am a very social person. So I squeezed every ounce of life out of high school. Like, I was involved in everything you can even think of, all the clubs. I even did FBLA club. Well, yeah. It's weird because I didn't take those classes.
Right, like Future Business Leaders, right, or something like that. Yeah,
it's called. Yeah, Future Business Leaders of America. And I remember just being in the room with the club, and then they said, oh, there's an opening at this camp we're going to go to. Do you want to come? So for me, right place, right time, right? Mm-hmm. Now looking back, I'm like, wow, that's pretty neat. because I went to this camp and it lasted for probably 4 days, I think. And I don't even remember where it was, but they taught us all about business. And they had us set up our own businesses and run our businesses and do the numbers and figure out the logo and the product. It was an amazing experience. And it was my first taste of what a business even is.
Right.
You know, at that point, I was in high school. I didn't even know that I liked that kind of thing.
Yeah.
And it opened my mind, like, completely. And my group didn't, we didn't win, which is fine. It was kind of a group effort, but definitely I learned a lot there. Right. And another thing that I learned there was it takes a team to run a business. This was clear back in high school.
Right.
But I mean, now with 180 Fitness, we've got my dad, John, and Lloyd. And we are all completely different. Yeah. Like, there's none of us are even the same at all.
Right.
But at that camp, they were like, yeah, it takes a squirrel and a turtle and they were like naming animals that it takes to run a business, right? To make it cutesy.
Right.
And I'm like, what animals are we?
Well, obviously you're the mountain lion.
Oh my gosh, no, I'm a cheetah.
Okay.
I guess you could, or maybe butterfly, because I'm social.
Maybe
I'm not sure. I don't know. But then I was like, what animal is Lloyd? I thought of a rhino. Oh. Very steady. I was going to say lion at first, but he's not really aggressive like that. So a rhino, very steady. I haven't even told him about it, so this is going to be a surprise. He's going to love it. Yeah. But yeah, very steady. And then, let's see, John, I was thinking, I wanted him to be cool, but he is a builder and a doer. And that's pretty awesome, but I couldn't think, the only animal I could think of was a beaver, which, it's fine. Sorry, John. But amazing, right? Yeah, amazing animal. Totally. And then my dad, I couldn't think of anything but like a wise old owl.
Yeah. It totally fits.
He brings that. He's a little bit more conservative and just kind of keeps us reined in, right?
Yeah. I mean, I don't have a ton of experience with your dad, but I have a lot of experience with his brother, Lynn.
Oh, yeah.
You know, and one thing I've always noticed with Lynn is he's very calm and like he never stops moving, but he's slow to move.
Yes.
And I think it's intentional most of the time.
Yeah.
You know, because things change, because opportunities present themselves, you know, and it's often that Char's like, I don't know why he's not doing this thing. I wish he'd just do it. Yeah. But then something happens that it's like, oh, that's probably why he waited, you know? Yeah. So I feel like you guys would probably be like me where I'd probably go faster than I probably should and get in trouble.
That's me. So that's what I bring to the table. Right. Yeah. They call me the mantis also. Like, you know, from the Furious 5 or whatever.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
But I jump in without... I mean, I want to say I think about it, right? But, like, I am not afraid to try anything. So I'll just jump in, and then Lloyd usually cleans up the mess or, like, makes it function, right?
Yeah.
So that's kind of how our team works. And, I mean, so far, it's been great. Cool. We're a good team.
Good.
So.
Glad to hear.
Yeah.
So business, FBLA in high school is your first taste of, like, business education and everything.
Yeah.
Because you didn't have really anybody in your life that would have been entrepreneurial that you spent any amount of time with?
I mean, my dad, a little bit. Like I remember when I was younger, I want to say 12. This is kind of when the light bulb turned on for me. I think he wanted to buy, I know he wanted to buy the grocery store here in Fairview.
Okay.
And start his own grocery store or own his own. But the risk was really high, and it was something that he wasn't comfortable with when it came all the way down to it.
The numbers and everything. Yeah.
So,
which grocery stores, if I understand right, are very difficult to get.
Yeah. Your margins are so low, and you have to be like very strict. But
high traffic is what gets you.
Which Fairview is not great for that. Right. We all know. We all know that. So that was kind of opened my eyes at that point to business, I guess. But I was young, so it's not like I really had experience with that at all.
Well, and we're pretty similar in age, and like the common consensus of people, in my experience, like in general, when they'd talk to you about future and what you're gonna do and everything, it was always the same thing. It was always college, 9-to-5 job, retirement. You know, and so there wasn't any of that like entrepreneurial. I think you could do whatever you want. And it doesn't
at all.
matter.
That wasn't even part of the discussion ever.
Right, and I think they're a little better now. I'm not sure, but in school there was zero, other than FBLA, which was a club. It wasn't a class.
Right.
You know, and even when they taught finance in a way that was, you get your paycheck on this day.
Yeah.
You know, and you work your job, and then you come home, you go to the grocery store. You know, like it was never like a what felt right. You know. Yeah. So. That's good that your eyes opened up when you were young.
Yeah, now thinking back, that was really a miracle that I even went to that. And also I remember working 2 jobs, and I begged, absolutely begged my parents when I was, I think, 14, turning 15, to get a job. Because my parents, they made me pay for... I sound like such a victim. That's not what I'm trying to say here. I'm trying to say my parents were great. They had me pay for half my clothes, my school clothes, and then they had me pay for... Thirsty? It's fine. It's fine. They had me pay for half my clothes, and then just anything else I wanted, like extra.
Right.
I mean, they paid for drill team and all of that. Yeah. But like extra things, if I wanted something, I had to...
Yeah, anything outside of like the baseline.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's kind of how we approach it with our kids too. Is like, I'll get you what you need so you don't look homeless at school.
Yes.
And if you want to have that extra set of shoes or the extra
name
shorts
brand, whatever,
or backpack, whatever it is that you feel like you need, you can earn the money to get that.
That's exactly what it was. And I just wanted to be independent and be able to get my own stuff and do what I wanted to do when I wanted to do it. So I begged him to get a job at Wheeler's. I remember in the interview, Dave was like, do your parents know that you're, you know, like trying to get a job? Because he knew I couldn't drive.
Yeah, in a different town.
Yeah. Right. So anyway, I got permission and started working. I'm pretty sure I was 15 at that point. So it was right when I was turning. And then I worked there.
Did you ever have to walk or ride your bike to work?
No, never. Which is interesting, right? Like, I don't know. It worked out. And I also remember Dave Wheeler he also taught us about business. I remember him sitting us down, the employees, and talking about, you know, what it takes to make this business run and what our part was in that business. Also, that really like opened my mind too, which all these years later, I still remember that. So he was a great leader and had a big influence on me. Yeah. And then I did also, like I said, I worked 2 jobs. I worked at Terrell's also, and my dad was the meat manager. And I remember stocking shelves early morning before drill team.
Right. Which drill team's early.
Yeah, it was like 5 a.m. I think that we had to be there. But so we were stocking shelves, and then I remember my dad saying, you have to use 2 hands. You always have to have 2 hands working because they are paying you for your time, and it's dishonest for you to sit and not work your hardest. And so I learned my hard work really from my dad. And my mom, she never sat down either, but but he was the one that was coaching me at that job. So
that's good. That's an interesting way to put that. I like that a lot. Like both hands constantly moving. Yeah. Yep. It's funny to see how kids work.
Nowadays, it's not the same. No. They're on their phones.
And they have such a different concept of what to do. Like when we were finishing a deck at our last house, Mac and Gabe were going to help me by just feeding me screws because there's a ton of screws that has to be put in, you know. And so I'm just sitting there all day putting in screws. And Mac would get a pile of screws and give me a screw every time I needed a screw. And he'd just stay there like that and give me a screw. And then when he would be done, I have to go to the bathroom or whatever, Gabe would come and he'd get a pile of screws and set it next to me and then run off. You know?
Oh my gosh, that's funny.
So totally different on how they
and then he'll just
process
fill your pile, eat everywhere.
Yeah, he's just like, oh, that's good enough. Dad has what he needs. I don't
that's
need to stay
hilarious.
Here. So, yeah, every person is so different.
Yeah, I probably would have been the pile of screws. Yeah.
If there's other things to be done,
Yeah.
you know.
Well, I that's one thing I like to do is be efficient with my time.
Mm-hmm.
And it drives me nuts to waste time. I
Yeah.
have a hard time just sitting and chatting with friends because I'm always like, what else could I be doing? You know?
Yeah.
So turning that off is hard. So maybe that's a good or a bad thing, depending on how you look at it. But yeah, wasting time is hard for me.
Yeah.
Let's see. What else growing
So
up?
That's
Or
probably
in
good
high
for,
school.
yeah, like high school-ish.
Oh, I did student body.
Oh, you did?
I was a student body officer. Mm-hmm. I was
should
in charge
know
of
that.
activities.
I mean, I was there, but
I know.
wasn't really
it was kind of a
there,
blurry time. Yeah.
I spent a lot of time away from the school during school.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. I mean, I do remember you, but it's like kind of blurry. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I don't.
Yeah. Like just in passing.
Mm-hmm.
So.
But yeah, so I did student body officer. I tried to actually be a wrestler.
Oh, see, that's what I'm saying. Like when I said you're kind of like a different sort of girl.
Yeah.
Like you do a lot of things that, because we'll get into a lot more where I'm like, see, this is more of like that different mindset of a typical.
I wanted to wrestle, but they didn't know what to do with me and basically told me no.
Yeah.
Girls wrestling wasn't a thing back then, but I wanted to do the workouts with them too.
Mm-hmm.
I loved that challenge. I've always loved fitness. But they said no, so I was not a wrestler. To this day, I still wish I knew how to wrestle. And I actually asked Lloyd to wrestle